Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Clayton's Classroom. Tonight is the first Wednesday of 2016. Wow, incredible. And our guest host tonight is Toula. So January 6th, 2016, guest host is Toula. And I want to thank you all for joining us. Obviously, there's other things that you could be doing, and everybody is maybe smoothing out from the last 2 weeks of a lot of activity. Hopefully it was all good, and an interesting variety of weather systems we've had throughout the country. But it's all part of the adventure, right? So we're coming to you from Arizona, and I think the first thing that I want to do here is read our disclaimer, just so make sure we're all compliant. This call is intended for informational purposes only. Neither the product nor the statements made about the products on this call have been evaluated by the FDA, AMA, or any other medical entity. The views and opinions expressed on this call by Clayton Nolte, distributors, customers, and or other speakers solely represent the conclusions of said speakers and are not guarantees that anyone using the products will achieve the same results. These conclusions and products are not intended to be substitutes for the diagnosis, treatment, cure, or prevention of any disease or injury, nor should they be taken as substitutes for the advice of a physician. Anyone suffering from disease or injury should consult with a physician. Okay, first thing, I have a request from our guest host that everyone drink a couple of glasses of water. If you have the ability to structure your water, by all means, drink structured water. And grab your portable unit. If you don't have a portable unit yet, we'll go ahead with the breathing sequence without it. And you'll find this really quite a lovely experience. So go ahead and get yourself some water, a couple of glasses. And also, if you would have any questions you know you'd like to ask now, go ahead and raise your hand by pressing *2, and that way I'll call on you in order of when you raise your hand. Okay, the first person I would like to present is, the reason why we're all here is Mr. Clayton Nolte has a number of accomplishments and experiences under his belt. We won't go there, but we will go to a little bit about Clayton. Clayton has been a researcher of subtle and free energies in nature for several decades. After years of observing the vast and mysterious properties of water, he invented a way to mimic how water moves naturally and rediscovers its own perfect balance as created by nature. Clayton has harnessed this technology into his own creation of structured water units, which also led to the discovery and benefits of breathing structured air. Clayton's passion, dedication, and loving spirit continues to bring the opportunity of structured water and a better sense of well-being to all life as we know it. Clayton, glad you could make it.
Thank you, Corinne.
It wouldn't be the same without you.
You make me sound regal.
Well, you are regal. Okay, enough of my own squeaking. We're going to move along to our guest host introduction, Toula. And Tim has been a big part of bringing forth a number of insightful revelations and discoveries along with Clayton throughout the last 4 years. Tim has been working with Clayton on researching and relaying the understanding of using natural action technologies, structured water units. In the early days of natural action technologies, Tim coined the words Clayton's Classroom and introduced the concept of breathing structured air. Tim returns to Clayton's Classroom again tonight with his wisdom and experience from his many years as a forester, professional rock climber, guide, and athlete, as well as a master-trained Chinese herbalist and practitioner of 5 different forms of acupuncture and certified Korean hand therapist. He is also a practitioner of two forms of soft chiropractic known as BEST and NET. Tim's understanding and connection to nature has blended into his mission to deliver the message and many benefits of drinking structured water and breathing structured air. Currently, he is most passionate in the study and practice of brain balancing with structured energetics. Tim, welcome. Welcome back to Clayton's Classroom. Welcome to the call tonight.
Wow, thank you, Corinne. It's a real pleasure to be back here, and I'm sitting in the outback of Arizona looking at the most beautiful structured view I could possibly see right now. So I'm really looking forward to this show.
As am I, and I'm sure Clayton and everyone else who's joining us tonight. The first thing I'd like to ask Clayton is, you always do a wonderful overview about structured water and what you have brought to us all to just not only intrigue the imagination of what else is possible, but to give us the options for creating a better quality of life. Can you give us just an overview of what structured water is and is not?
Well, in simple terms, why don't I just leave it at this? It works. Anyway, I guess I could go into it a little bit deeper. Basically, what structured water is the aspect of structuring is water moving through the natural action technologies structuring unit. As the water is moving through, it's turning, it's dancing. And in that dance, what we call a vortex, it causes the water to change molecularly. And that molecular change, and the element that changes primarily is hydrogen. All things contain hydrogen. Everything that exists has hydrogen in it. And so when you change the way hydrogen bonds to other elements, it changes that element. And so when the hydrogen bond angle increases, the water, the air, and everything that this technology, water or air, come in contact with tends to change its structure also. So let's take this. For instance, the majority of bottled water, processed water, let's say surface water, resides in very large clusters of water molecules, tens of thousands of molecules all clustered together. So when you consume that water, your body has to make that water usable. And there's various means to do it. You can boil the water and get it closer. For your cells to receive water or the hydration, the water has to be at a certain level. It has to drop down to a level that the cells can actually receive it. And to do that, the amount of energy your body has to put out to make the water you drink usable every day, if you could convert it to electricity, it would light your house up for a month. And that's a significant amount of energy. So think about it. Basically, there were times and places that I've been throughout my studies is looking at what age. There was a time at 35 years, and then 25 years. Anyway, besides all the numbers, again, your body has to make the water you drink, everything you eat, usable. And at your cellular level, your cells can only receive the energy, the drumbeat, the music of the food you eat, the music of the water, basically the energy. And again, your cells can only receive, cannot receive anything physical or anything electrical. So think about this. If you structure the water, structuring the water changes the way hydrogen attaches to oxygen. And instantaneously, it goes from tens of thousands of water molecules in a cluster down to approximately 6 water molecules in a cluster. Structuring implies that the water is in the number of molecules is between 5 and 20 in a cluster. That's what structuring represents. Through natural action technologies, it drops it down to 6 water molecules. At that 6 water molecules, you have instant hydration. In a shower, the water is instantly moving into your cellular level, and one of the really beautiful things about structured water is structured water carries in nutrients and takes out the garbage. It carries in nutrients and takes out the garbage. It doesn't linger in your body. That's another thing about unstructured water. When your body consumes unstructured water, it has to make it usable. If it cannot break it down and make it usable, your body tends to store it. And the form that it stores water in that it can't make usable is in the form of fat. So again, structured water brings in the nutrients, takes out the garbage. Brings in the nutrients, takes out the garbage. And now your body, all the energy that you would normally use to bring the water you drink into harmony with your body and usable, can now be utilized to repair and to bring your body back to what it's originally intended to be. That's simply what structuring is. There's a whole lot of other attributes to structuring. It changes the viscosity of the water. In other words, makes it more usable at the cellular level, more usable instantaneously entering into whether you're washing clothes or washing materials, that it just enters directly in without adding surfactants, soaps. It reduces the amount of materials that you would normally use to make water usable. And throughout our time and our adventure, we've discovered a whole amazing revelation into what structured water and structured air can bring into your life. So I'll end it with that.
Pretty good, Clayton. It works for me. I always learn something as many times as you do this presentation. I find myself scribbling down some notes. Now, granted, my memory is sometimes questionable, but more than that, I just love, it just helps me to have a better understanding of what's happening in my own body and when I take in structured water. So thank you for that. Now we're going to turn this over to Tim Toula. And Tim, you can talk a little bit about what you do, how you do it, and however it works for you to take us through the structured breathing sequence would be absolutely wonderful. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Tim.
Okay, well, thanks, Corinne. And I'd just like to say to everybody on the show tonight, congratulations for being here because, you're really taking a step forward. Whether you are a newcomer to the idea of structured water, air, energetics, or you've been doing this for as long as Clayton's had it out, hopefully we're going to share with you some great stuff here tonight. And just sort of further the understandings that we've built up on the structured energetics. So when I think of structuring and structured energetics, what it's been going on for the last 4 years, ever since I first met Clayton. He was there at a seminar, and I got a chance to sample the structured water. And the first thing I did was, well, I'm going to prove this to myself, and I'm going to test my friend here with what was known in chiropractic as an ileocecal valve test. I gave my friend some water after I had tested that his ileocecal valve was weak. Now, this is a really important test because it really